Woodrow Wilson's presidency fulfilled the progressive reform agenda and laid the foundations of the modern activist presidency. Although he built on the example of Teddy Roosevelt, and while his immediate successors would return to the caretaker model of presidency, Wilson fundamentally altered the nature of the presidency and changes it from an equal or lesser partner with Congress to its superior, dominant branch of government. Wilson passed several domestic legislation, such as the Federal Reserve Act, which established 12 regional reserve banks controlled by a Federal Reserve Board. This allowed a more flexible money system and gave them the power to adjust interest rates and the nation's money supply. This still provides framework for regulating the nation's money supply today. He also passed the Clayton Antitrust Act, which excludes farm and labour organisations from antitrust prosecution and prohibited anti-competitive business practices, which helped endear him to farmers and labourers. He also passed the Adamson Act, which secured an 8-hour workday for railroad workers, which paved the way to shortened workdays for all industrial workers in the future.
Woodrow Wilson is most famous for being the wartime president. His initial efforts to be ready for war but neutral were successful and earned him re-election with the slogan, "He kept us out of war." However, in 1917, following unrestricted submarine warfare, which sank the Lusitania in 1915, and the leaking of the Zimmerman telegram, which suggested that Mexico should invade the United States with German backing, America was forced into World War I. They are often credited with turning the tide for the Allies, suffering 150,000 casualties. Perhaps the US's biggest influence was on the treaty. Wilson's infamous 14 points suggested an end to secret treaties, European-wide disarmament, self-determination for minority groups, and a League of Nations that would resolve disputes with diplomacy, although Congress ensured the US would never join. Overall, Wilson shaped the mould of Roosevelt's presidency into his own, adopting a foreign policy of peacekeeping and morality while continuing Roosevelt's ideas of welfare and regulatory-focused legislation. He oversaw a large increase in presidential power as he negotiated with the treaty himself and exercised his authority consistently over Congress.